I think it was in 2015, still only 7% of the works in the MoMA, New York, are by women. 7. So, even though it's like, oh, we're living in this post-feminist world, we still have so much more work to do. And so I'm really trying to impart that to my students as well. Like, if you want to be an artist, like, you better own it and be an artist and do what you want to do, and go and get grants and go and do the work and do the research and whatever it takes. Like, you have to be willing to make that sacrifice and do it. And it doesn't mean that has to come from like a formal male sort of historical context. It means that you can be an emotional person, you can have an experience that you want to share through your artwork, and it doesn't have to be looked at as something like, oh, this is too touchy-feely or whatever. So anyways, choosing a path, sticking to it. And then also just her exploration of her own personal identity and experience as a woman, as a Jewish woman, as someone who grew up in the 70s, which she claims is to have been like a very, very hopeful time, and then continuing on through the 80s, which kind of had this sort of backlash against 70s sort of idealism. And then the 90s, where she started dealing with the Holocaust and her own personal identity. There were a lot of things that I identified with greatly in her work and in the archive. And so thank you. I'm just so grateful to everyone for coming and for listening and for maybe thinking of some things that we haven't thought about or maybe don't think about enough. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.